When I started Real Goods 35 years ago, back in 1978, it was kind of a business that began out of necessity. I was living in a commune, off the grid, with none of the creature comforts, just kerosene lamps and outdoor toilet facilities, no indoor plumbing. So Real Goods started as a way to bring creature comforts to Mendocino County in Northern California. When we sold the first solar panel back in 1978, I began to see that solar was a way to revolutionize the world. And back then you'd see a solar panel out on the highway and you'd grab everyone you could find and say, oh my God, look, solar panel, photovoltaic. And it was a rarity, it was an oddity. Now I think, in a lot of ways, I think we've succeeded, and a lot of the other pioneering solar companies have succeeded in bringing solar to the world, where you've got 10% of the power coming from solar in Germany. We still haven't touched it in America. We're still below 1% solar penetration. But you can see the way forward. Solar's increasing at 50% a year. But to me, the whole philosophy behind, I think, the way I live is to show people by example. You can't teach people by banging them over the head and telling them the sky is falling. You can't educate out of fear. You can only educate by example, and that was what brought the Solar Living Center about in 1995. We wanted to create kind of a parallel universe paradise off the highway in California, where thousands of people could come and experience what energy efficient living was like and learn how to lessen their carbon footprints naturally, to see that cold beer and ice cream are not something that have to be energy intensive. So moving up here, now we've had I think 3 million people visit the Solar Living Center. We get 200,000 plus visitors a year. It's become a major tourist attraction in Northern California. So I wanted to create a place that was a couple miles away, so it would be easy to get to work, but continue in that off-the-grid kind of outlaw pattern of existence, where up here we're off all the grids. We're off the water grid, we're off the solar grid, we're off the electrical grid. A lot of times it feels like we're off the social grid. We're pretty much out of our grids up here. So to be able to do that and continue it as an educational experience and demonstrate to people that you can live like this, you can incorporate these principles into your life, where you don't use air conditioning, you don't use active heating all the time, you minimize your water use, you learn how to live much more simply, you grow your own vegetables. To be able to provide oil to the community with as much olives as we grow is a really great feeling. People need to get more into sharing what they produce off their land. People need to learn to be more in community with each other. And recently, when we see what's happening with the advent of technology, people walking around tapping on their iPhones 24 hours a day and using Facebook as their connection, that's kind of sad. And I think living here in Mendocino County gives us an opportunity to learn how to live in community more and learn how to enjoy each other and love each other and not rely on these disconnected social grids that we've seen our kids get into lately and their addiction to electronic devices. It's nice to kind of get back to the land and get off the grid once and forever.